It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday and it's time for...
Craig and Ryland's Magic TV Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
He's also Little Santa. He's getting very Christmassy right now, so we have a Santa hat on. We're doing this after school, hence the reason he's got his cool uniform on, but it's still 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, right here on...
Magic TV.
And once again, we are back with a whole bunch of reviews. We are looking at the latest and greatest magic that has been released to the magic community, letting you know what's good and what's bad. And for everybody that likes our reviews, we would like to say...
Thank you.
I'll just keep feeding you the lines, shall I? Shall I just keep feeding them? I'll keep hitting them out, and you keep knocking them down. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah? Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of reviews, so we're going to go straight into a new trick by Penguin Magic, P3, just recently come out. And it's, well, you'll find out. Keep watching. Okay, so first up, we have Easy Aces by Braessas. I like the packaging for this.
Yeah.
You actually get a deck of cards in a deck of cards, which is quite cool. You open it up and you got a little card case inside a card case. This is called Easy Aces. You get a gimmicked deck of cards with it. I am going to do a full performance of this trick right now, and then we're going to talk about it because I've got thoughts about this. But first of all, let's have a look at a performance of the main routine. There's two routines on the project. There's a main routine. There's a bonus routine. Let's have a look at the main routine right now. Okay, right, so I'm going to show you a trick with a pack of cards.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they're all there, they're all different. Yeah. Okay? There's 52 cards, and there are...
52 possibilities.
You know all my lines. That's correct. 52 cards, 52 possibilities. I'm going to take the cards, and I'm going to take half in each hand, and I'm going to shuffle them face up into face down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I want you to see that I really am shuffling these cards face up into face down. You can actually push them together yourself, make sure they really are being shuffled. Is that fair? Are you good?
Yep.
And I give the cards a cut.
Just a normal cut.
Just give them a cut. So, cards mixed, cards shuffled, correct?
Yeah.
We're going to try and do this. Watch. Somewhere in here are the four aces. I don't know whether they're face up or face down, right? But watch, I'm going to cut in just the right place. And when I cut in just the right place, I can get an ace.
What?
Let me do that again because you might have missed it. This time you know exactly what's going to happen. Because obviously I don't know whether your cards, I don't know whether the aces are face up or face down, but watch this. I've already got the first ace, yeah? If I do this, one card flies out the middle. I get the second ace.
Whoa.
It's not bad, right? So we've got the ace of hearts and the ace of clubs, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the next one. Look, it's right there. You can't see it until I do this. And now right there, I've actually got the ace of diamonds. So weird, right?
Yeah.
Should we do this one last time?
Yeah, one last time.
The ace is, there's one final ace. I'm going to let you do this yourself. All I want you to do is wave your hand over like this. Snap your fingers. And just like that. One final ace. All the rest of the cards face the right way. And one last ace, the ace of spades. And that is how to find the four aces and sort the deck out at the same time.
That's a bit like the cheeky deck.
It is a little bit like the cheeky deck, Ryland. It's very, very similar to the cheeky deck. Which is fine. I mean, when I released cheeky...
Could you do the cheeky deck?
Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll get into that. But, I mean, my release, Cheeky through Alexis and Easy Aces, both use the cheek-to-cheek concept, right? So that's... But let's talk about this first of all, because there are comparisons to be made. So first of all, what we have here is a routine that uses that classic cheek-to-cheek deck to do a four-ace production. It's a really nice idea, actually, because of the methodology that Braessas put together with this.
Yeah.
You can have the cards shuffled by a spectator, you can have them cut by a spectator, and yet you'll instantly be able to produce the four aces, and you'll be able to do a sort of a triumph kicker at the end. It reminds me a little bit of a gimmicked version of A Little TTNA by John Bannon from Impossibilia, if anybody's read that book. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And you get the cheek-to-cheek deck, and you get the routine, and it's a very good routine. You also get a bonus routine that's got nothing to do with the gimmick deck. It's a self-working card trick that's really cool. It's actually as good as, the bonus routine is as good as Easy Aces, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The actual Easy Aces routine is self-working. You can do it immediately. There's no skill required to it. Once you understand how the trick works, it works itself. The tutorial has live performances on it, which is really good, of both the bonus routine and the main routine. You've got Eric Tate explaining everything. Eric does a great job. My problem with it is, and you brought this up at the beginning, it's not a problem as such. I do a lot with the cheek-to-cheek deck, and I just think, and maybe this is just my thinking, but from a value for money point of view, what you have here is a routine that basically just uses a cheek-to-cheek deck and combines it with an ace production. And it's just one routine. Like when I brought out Cheeky with Alakazam, if I'd had one idea with a cheek-to-cheek deck, I wouldn't have released it. If I'd just had like one thing, I wouldn't have released it. The reason I released it is I had like 8 or 9 routines with it. I incorporated a rotational stack into it, which allowed you to do thought of cards. I changed it to a stripper deck as well, so that there was an automatic reset at the end of the routine, because the problem with any cheek-to-cheek deck routine is the reset takes a little bit because you've got to go through each individual card. And honestly, I mean, it's very difficult to say this because it's my own product, but if you're going to spend money on a gimmick deck, and you can either get Easy Aces, which comes with one routine, and a regular cheek-to-cheek deck, or you can pay roughly the same amount of money and get a 3-hour tutorial and get 9 routines and get a custom created cheek-to-cheek deck, which allows you to do an instant reset and thought of cards. I'm going to suggest that you get the Cheeky project, because I think it's a better project. There's more meat and bones to it. There's more routines with it. If I'd have, like I say, if I'd have just come up with this, and this is a great routine. It's difficult because this is a great routine. If I'd thought of this when I put the cheek-to-cheek deck project together, when I put the Cheeky project together, if I'd thought of this, I would absolutely 100% have included that in the project and be very proud of it. But what I wouldn't have done is released it as a single trick on its own with a bonus routine that's got absolutely nothing to do with the gimmick deck that you're getting with it. I mean, I'm going to give this 60% because it's difficult, because as a Magic reviewer, what I'm basically saying here is don't buy this, buy my version of it instead, because that's a lot better. But I believe in my own project a lot more. Not that there's anything wrong with this, not that there's anything wrong with Martin Braessas. The live performance is very good, but it's ultimately a regular cheek-to-cheek deck that you can get from any Magic store and one trick. It's not a project. It's a trick with a bonus routine. While Cheeky has, as I say, 8 or 9 routines, custom designed deck, and it's a project, or at least I wanted it to be a project. So if I was going to recommend one or the other, I'd recommend Cheeky. And it's difficult to say that because it's my own project, and I kind of wrestled over how to do this review, because this is a good trick. There's a very good chance I might do this trick, in which case it should get over 80%. But I don't think that people should buy this. I think people should buy Cheeky if they're into this sort of thing. But it's difficult. It's difficult. I'm going to give it 70%. It's good.
I'm going to give it 70% as well.
Well, you do some of the routines from Cheeky.
Yeah.
So you know how strong the routines in Cheeky are.
Yeah.
But you also like this routine.
Yeah. It's
difficult. It really is. I mean, the bonus routine on here is excellent as well. It's difficult. I'm going to give it 70%. Yeah. I'm probably going to do this trick. I really am. I think it's a very good trick. But I'm just not going to, it's difficult. I'm going to give it 70%. It gets 70% from Ryland. It gets 70% from me. You can get it from Penguin Magic. It's a good trick. If you want to look for something that's a little bit more expansive, look to the Cheeky project by Alexis.
Okay, so this is Perfectionist. Now, it is the way of having 2 halves of cards and basically making, not a match. It can be a match.
It's kind of a prediction, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like you've influenced people.
Yeah, it can be a match and a prediction.
Yeah,
it depends what way it goes.
Should we do the performance? Yeah. Why don't we get Ryland to perform it so you can see, because we're having a very bad job at explaining this, aren't we?
Yeah.
We'll get Ryland to perform it so you can see exactly what it's like, and then we'll talk about.
Yeah. Okay, so this trick is perfectionism. Now we're going to try and make a perfect match using these cards.
Right.
Now I've cut the deck.
You're not meant to actually cut the deck when you cut the deck. You get that, right?
But I cut the deck.
You cut the deck.
And well, we've got these.
You're
like,
a nightmare with a pair of scissors, you are.
Well, we've got these cards here, yeah.
Yeah?
We've also got these cards here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do, so I'm just going to get you, well, just to stop whenever you want, really.
Stop.
Now, do you want that one? Do you want that one?
That one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. Got that card there. Put that there.
Put that. Yeah.
Move these out of the way. I've also
Excuse
got
me.
these cards.
Okay.
Now, I want you to name any number.
Any number at all.
Yeah.
467.
I mean, sorry. Any number between 1 and 10.
Any number between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you sure you want 3?
Positive.
Well, I've got these cards. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
That card right there. Put them over there. Now, would you believe it if these cards match?
Got the perfect match.
Would have been good.
Yeah, that's terrible, right? Is that what, if that's what you were going for, you failed miserably.
Well, I was going for this.
Well, then the trick sucks.
I know. Well, I wanted this to happen.
Really?
The reason is, in the back, I'll have this. And there's one card. Can you take it out?
Yeah.
What's the card?
No way.
How sick is that?
That.
It is a perfect match.
That's awesome. Okay, so that was a really good performance, right?
Thank you.
What I like about this is everything that you need is in this one little case.
Yes.
It goes into your top pocket. It sits there. It's good to go. And then you bring it out and you do this trick. Now, I've seen split deck type routines before. Cody Fisher has got an excellent split deck type routine. There's lots of people that have got really good split deck type routines. This is kind of like a packet trick version of a split deck. And it's kind of got that impossible coincidence style feel to it.
Yeah.
What I like about it is it's completely self-working. Like, as soon as you saw it, 20-minute trailer, no live performance, which is very annoying. But, you know, the guy on the download kind of explains everything very, very clearly. It would have been nice if it actually did have a live performance. But it's actually really easy to do. It requires what the guy's done that's created this is he's taken two really common principles, combined them together with a interesting plot and an interesting prop, added a couple of other bits and pieces, and that's what you have here. The nice part is you can carry this around. It's an instant reset. Yeah. So let's talk about the positives here. 1, it's an instant reset. 2, it's very easy to do. 3, everything's examinable. 4, you can repeat it again and again. It'll be a different outcome. 5, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah,
top pocket.
Yeah, it just fits in your top pocket. No pocket space required hardly. And the other one is it would play to a big group, I think.
6.
Yeah, 6 points. And although it does require a table, you don't need a close-up pad or anything. It's just that you need to put stuff down on a table. So you do need a table. But outside of that, I mean, what you just saw Ryland do is a very clear representation of what the trick is. If you like the idea of doing this, and trust me, I don't know if you've ever done a coincidence style routine before, but if you have done a coincidence style routine, you'll know how strong it can be, and this is a perfect example. Yeah. The other thing is, one of the things I talk about on this channel all the time, one of the things I'm a big believer in is hook lines and what you say to grab people's attention. I love this hook.
Okay, so I've cut the deck.
Yeah, you know, I was at a gig the other day and I told somebody to cut the deck. And this is what they did. Can you believe that? They actually cut the deck. And then I thought, well, I could do a trick with this. The reason it's got perfectionism is the guy on the tutorial. He does a presentation about you know, there's you know, in life we're always looking for perfection, and it's very wishy-washy. It's not the sort of thing that I would do, but it worked for him, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, it's I really like this.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like this. When these sort of things come in and it's in a little envelope and it's got this, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's probably going to have a flap in it or something. But it doesn't. This is a really, really, really nice trick. It's very, very easy to do.
Yes.
And there's nothing to not love. I'm going to give this 92%. Really like it. What
I
about
was
you?
actually just about to say that. I was about to say 92.
We are so in sync today. Boom.
I was actually about to say 92, and you just said, I'm going to give it 92%.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I was actually thinking that. Oh, that's no joke.
In sync. Father and son. Boom. 92% for the petties. Let's move on. So next up we have Transparency by Alexis Touchard and Axel Vergnord. When I was watching the tutorial for this, we were in the kitchen watching the tutorial, and your mum walks in and she just goes, well, that sounds very French, because the guy had a French accent. So yes, well done, Sarah, it did sound very French. What we have here is we have a collection of bits and bobs, really. I mean, you get so much stuff. I mean, what's nice about this is there's multiple routines that you can do with this. Like, there's so many different things. You get gimmick cards, you get gimmick stickers, you got gimmick poker chips, you got tons of stuff. There's so many different things here. And because of that, there's so many different options as to what you get, what you can do with it. In essence, what you have is you have... I'm going to be transparent, like that, transparent. I'm going to be transparent and tell you what you get with this, but after you've seen a performance. Let's have a look at the performance of Transparency first. This is just one of the things that you can do with it, and then I'll talk about everything that you get. Okay, Rye, I want you to see that there's a deck of cards here, and they're all there, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yep.
I'll give the cards a shuffle, just to make sure they're all mixed up.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can now see that we have a perfectly normal deck of cards ready to perform absolute miracles with. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Good. Now, I need I need two cards. I'm going to take the two aces. The only reason I need these two aces is to show you a miracle. Now, we've got the ace of clubs, yeah?
Yeah.
And we've got the ace of diamonds. And if I take these two cards and do this, I get a poker chip.
What?
How awesome is that?
Wow.
Now, I'm going to see if I can go one step further. There's a trick that David Blaine did many, many years ago. And what he did is he took a card and he pushed it through a window. I haven't got a window here, so I can't do that. But I'm going to get you to pick a card. I'm going to try and push it into the poker chip.
Whoa.
Are you ready? Now, the problem is, if I told you that I was going to push it into the poker chip, you probably wouldn't believe me. Because this poker chip, you're not be able to see through inside it, are you? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to rub it like this. And look at what I've done. I've made the poker chip completely see-through. Which is awesome, because you can hold on to that. And now, I'm going to see if I can get a card into that poker chip. So just put it there. Say stop.
Stop.
There, you sure?
Yep.
Let me show you the card. I'm going to show everyone the card. Can you see the card?
Yep.
I'm going to pop it down in the middle of the deck. Is that fair? I'm going to put that right there in front of you.
Yeah.
So the idea is I'm going to try and get your card. Well, I'll tell you what, a playing card wouldn't fit inside that poker chip, would it?
No.
So I'm just going to get a piece of it. I'm going to take a piece of the card and put it into the poker chip. Now, what was the name of the card again?
The 3 of spades.
Watch, if I just do this. 1, 2, 3. I can now get a piece of card inside the poker chip. How awesome is that?
What?
Now check this out. It's the 3 of spades, but just in case you think I'm joking, I'm not, because if we spread through and look for your 3 of spades, there's no longer a piece, and that's because that fits exactly. So, I mean, I love that trick. I thought that was a really cool trick. It was like angle 0 on steroids, but that's just one of the things you can do with it. So what you get is you get a see-through poker chip. You get a poker chip that's also see-through, but with like a piece of a card embedded into it. A little bit like Figment by Tom Mellinger, Jester Styles. But instead of Lego, it's with poker chips, right? But you also get a shell that goes over those two see-through poker chips. You get a whole bunch of magnets to be able to do various different changes. You get stickers, you get gimmicked cards. You get pre-made cards with corners torn off. You get everything. I mean, there's so much stuff that you get with this. Yeah. But in essence, you can do routines like you just saw me do. They have a whole bunch of ideas with magnets, where you have a magnet underneath like a plaster or a PK ring or something like that, which will allow you to do sort of visual changes. They've got this really nice routine where you take a poker chip, you put it into a spectator's hand, and you flick. And as you flick, it turns see-through into the spectator's hands. And then when you spread through, one card now has the poker chip on it, embedded into it, and it's their card. And when you turn it over, you can put the ink back off the card onto the poker chip, and it's a signed card. Lots of different things that you can do. Live performances, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
4 or 5 different routines. But basically, what I like about this is I think people that are super creative will come up with their own ideas for this.
Yeah.
Like, you were already looking at it and you were like, oh, those poker chips are cool. I can do so much with those on Insta. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, you were immediately thinking Instagram and making poker chips, you know, like see-through and stuff like that. And rightfully so. This is cool. I mean, this is really cool. This is a really cool set. It'll work brilliantly for social media, but it'll also work really well live and in person as well. You can get them in blue or red. This is the blue deck. Yeah, I mean, again, this is another one that came in. We didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect much from it, to be perfectly honest. And then when I watched the tutorial, I was very pleasantly surprised. I thought it was really good. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to get a kick out of this. You just throw a couple of poker chips in your pocket and you're good to go. Some of the routines are less practical than others. Some of the routines, like I'm not going to put a plaster on my finger and put a magnet under it. But some of the routines, like the one that you just saw me do, are super practical, like really, really practical. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen a real poker chip with it as well. There's a couple of routines where you make the poker chip come back to normal by putting the shell back on. But, you know, people are going to want to look at that. It would have been nice to have a normal poker chip as well. Maybe maybe they can offer, maybe if Alexis and Axel are watching this, maybe they can offer up regular poker chips that match the fakes, because I think that'd be a really good idea. Yeah. But as it stands, this is cool. I think it would make a very good opener. The first routine on the project, and it is a project because there's so much on here. The first routine on the project, which is literally just boom, this poker chip becomes see-through. They've got this really nice one as well, where you throw the piece into the poker chip, and then you have it examined and it's really in there, and you just bring it up here and you pull it out visually, which looks really good. Look, we're going to give it a rating. You know, we've nailed it the last 2 times, so we're going to give the rating at the same time on the count of 3. Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 85.
What?
We did not set that up.
We didn't.
Oh my God. You and I are like in sync.
Oh.
We spend so much time with each other. I'm thinking of a letter. What letter am I thinking of?
P.
Oh my God, I am thinking of P. Mainly because I need the toilet. Let's move on. Congratulations, Craig. Your sense of humour is that of a 10-year-old's. Let's move on with the next one. Right, so next up we have Lions Monte. Who's it by, Ryan? We're not bringing the box over here. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. We'll put it on the screen at the bottom. Yeah. Michael, can you put it on the screen, please? That'd be amazing. Yeah, just like that. Lion Monte we have, and it's by somebody. Read the screen. I don't know. It's by some guy. But this... Maybe 2. Maybe a couple of guys. This is a 3-card Monte designed for stage workers. It's designed for people who work on stage. Now, I haven't performed this on stage yet. However, I'm darn well going to. I think the next time. Yeah. I've started working stuff in at the House of Secrets recently because I compare you on every time you get booked there. And because you get booked there to do there all the time, I'm always trying new stuff at the House of Secrets. I'm going to take this to the House of Secrets. This is so cool. Yeah. I really like this. This is like a stage version of 3-card Monte. I'm going to have a go at doing it sitting down behind the table. I don't know how this is... I don't know how this is going to go, to be honest. You're going to have to go away so I can know all the space. I'm going to try and do it sitting down. It's designed as a stage piece, but I want you guys to see the sort of thing that it looks like. So let's have a look at the performance of it. Here's hoping, and then we'll talk about what we think. Right. I'm going to expose to you a trick called the 3-card trick. They play it on the streets of London, they play it on the streets of Monte Carlo, they play it on the streets of New York, and you will bet big money on this game. And the thing is, you can't win. Now, it's got different names. Some people call it 3-card trick. Some people call it chase the ace. Some people call it find the queen. Some people call it find the king. The idea is that there's 3 cards. You have to follow one of them. The one you have to follow is a money card. If you get it right, you win. Now, a lot of people think that it's all to do with palming, and that's not how it works. There's 2 techniques that they use to cheat you, and you should never play this game. I'm going to expose the 2 things that they do to cheat you in this game. And it's nothing to do with palming. That's why I've got these big cards. Because if it was palming, it wouldn't fit in my hand, right? So, these are the cards that we're going to use. Now, you'll notice that I've got an ace, and I've got a queen, and I've got a king. Because sometimes it's called find the ace, sometimes it's called find the queen, sometimes it's called find the king. But the idea is you have to find one of those cards, and normally it's the money card. Let's say you were trying to find the ace, you would have to watch the ace right there. And they might put the ace in between the others, and you have to follow where it is, right? That's exactly how the game works. Now, they'll be very fair about this game, and sometimes they'll even let you see everything. So, for example, they'll say, there's a queen. Do you see the queen there, Ryland?
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll even show you every single card. So they'll say, there's the ace. Do you see the ace there, Ryland? And obviously that leaves the king here. Now, they might even put the king to one side, and they'll tell you to watch it, and they'll tell you to keep an eye on it. But here's the thing. You should never, ever, ever play this game. Even if you are convinced that you know where the king is, even if you are 100% sure that you know where the king is, you should never play this game. Even if the operator shows you that you've got a queen and an ace here, therefore this has to be a king, you should never play. Because they use this thing called misdirection. Now, you've probably heard of misdirection before. It basically means making you look somewhere else. So what they'll do is they'll make you look away for a second. So they might say, look over there, it's a hedgehog. And you're thinking, oh, I love hedgehogs, and you'll go and have a look at the hedgehog. When you look at the hedgehog, that's where they do the switch. I don't know if you saw it. Now, I've got the king over here with the ace. I switched it, and the reason I've got the king over here is because the queen is over here, you see. That's how the game works. You can't win. So, the first thing that you have to learn is not to allow yourself to be misdirected. Now, there is a second rule as well. And this second rule is just as important as the first rule. And the second rule is sometimes they can switch the cards. And they'll cheat and they'll switch the cards. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take the ace and turn it round like this. In fact, if I spread the cards out like this, Ryland, you should be able to see the aces face down. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'll do is I'll take the ace and I'll put it there. And this time you've got to follow the ace. Ryland, where is the ace?
On the stand.
Where's the queen?
On the bottom of the pile.
And where's the king?
On the top.
You know that, don't you? You know that. There's no way for a second I can cheat. But remember, they switch cards. Now, the way that they switch the cards is with misdirection. So they'll say to you, look over there. There's a hedgehog. And what you'll do is you'll go and have a look at the hedgehog because you like hedgehogs. They're cute. They're fluffy. Well, they're not fluffy. You're spiky, but you get the idea. You'll look at the point I'm trying to make is you'll go and look at the hedgehog, Ryland. The hedgehog is where you'll be like, you won't be looking at the cards, right? You'll be looking at the spiky hedgehog. And when you look at the hedgehog, here's what happens. They switch the cards and it's done. And so when they say to you, where's the ace? You say there. Sometimes people are really smart. And they remember the first rule about misdirection and they'll say it's over here. But if they switch the cards, they haven't got a choice. You haven't got a chance because you see I've got a queen there. I've got a queen there. I've got a queen there. I've got nothing but queens. There is no ace. There is no king. I switched them out. And that, my friends, is why you should never, ever, ever, ever play the 3-card trick. And don't get distracted by hedgehogs. Any questions? Okay, that wasn't too bad. I think I did a fairly good job considering I was sitting down and I couldn't even see the cards.
499 tries.
It was 2 ties, 2 tries. Don't diss
no,
me.
that's C3.
Was it 3? Was it 3?
Yeah, because I said you could see.
Well, each time I've done it correctly, but you were like, oh, you flashed. I was like, shut up, Ryland.
You're the one that told me to say that.
There you go. Well, that was a pretty good performance, though. That wasn't bad. It would be much easier if I was standing up on stage. But what it is, basically, as you saw from the performance, is really a 2-phase routine. that's got a really interesting hook. I love 3-card Monte as a hook. I do stand-up Monte all the time. I do corner of Piccadilly all the time. I do a lot of gambling themed tricks. So for my show, this would be great. Now, what was really nice to see is there's full live performances on the project, and there's 2 live performances. The first live performance is the creator doing it to music, because he actually does this as a music piece, which I thought, this ain't a music piece. And then I saw him do it, and it's beautiful. It works really well to music. He brings the cards out, and the stand that I was using, you get the stand with it as well. And watching it done to music, I was like, now I don't really do anything in my show to music other than the illusions. You do, however. This is something that you could definitely do to music. There's then a second performance where he does it as a patter piece, which is kind of like what you saw me do. This is a very versatile prop. This is one of those tricks that packs small and plays big. Even though they're big cards, they're flat. What I like about the cards, I've seen jumbo 3-card Montes before, and they're very flimsy.
Yeah.
These cards are not flimsy, they're very thick. You're not going to have backlighting is not going to affect these cards. The problem with a lot of these 3-card Montes that I see is the backlighting affects them. So if you're performing on stage where there's lighting from the back going out into the audience, which you can have from time to time, it can expose what's actually happening in the trick. Backlighting won't be an issue.
How?
Well, because they can kind of see, like, you know, I do the suit jacket escape. When I do the suit jacket escape, I have to go to any stage that I'm working on and say, can I have no backlighting for this routine? Because if there's any lights at the back of the stage shining out, which there can be, it'll illuminate what's going on in the cloth behind it. So it's something to bear in mind as you perform on bigger stages, something you need to know. But that won't affect anything with this routine.
I know illusion you have to do that with.
Yeah, you have to be careful with illusions, a lot of them.
Yeah, the rings of death.
Rings of death, and also sub-trunks or metamorphoses, anything like that you have to be careful of. Anyway, we're diversifying.
We're not talking about illusions.
It's not that difficult to do. Obviously, there's some handling that you need to consider. There is a double lift to do a couple of times, but the double lift with a jumbo card isn't that difficult, really, to be perfectly honest. It's actually a relatively easy move to do when you've got jumbo cards. The routine itself is very well structured. What I very much liked is, without giving too much away, when I'm using, there's a couple of different gaffs at play in this routine. And one of the gaffs that you're using, if you're not careful, you can get mixed up in terms of orientation. But what they've done is they've put really big marks on the back of the cards, so you know which way you're orientated at all times, so you're never going to get into trouble. And it's those little touches that makes me think that the person that's created this and the person who's performing it on the tutorial is a worker. He's obviously a worker, because you can just see that every single idea has been thought out. I've seen a lot of 3-card Montes with jumbo cards. I've seen lots of them. There's so many people that have bought them out. I think one of the more popular ones is 3-card Job, which is an amazing trick. It's a really, really good trick. I remember seeing that for the first time and being very impressed. But I think this is better. And I love that they got this little stand with it, and the little stand, you can put the cards on. It literally will go into a case. If you're if you're a kind of a cabaret worker and you're looking for a pack small, play big type routine, or you're
Which
a close.
Is what we need, because we've done the stage show, by the way. Now. The train show.
Oh, we've done the train show. It went smashingly, didn't it?
We forgot about the things we said we were going to put in, didn't we?
Yeah.
We forgot about climax.
Huh?
We forgot to add climax.
We forgot to add climax. We did add a lot of them, though.
Yeah, we did.
But not climax. We should put climax in the next one. But we're getting off topic again. Focus, Ryland. Focus. Yeah, I love this. If you're a close-up worker looking for something there's a lot of close-up workers out there that are trying to offer an add-on show at the end, an extra 20-minute stand-up piece at the end of a close-up gig. This is perfect. You can just literally drop it in the back of a car, and you can take it out, and it will play to an entire room. It's really good. I'm going to actually do this. What about you?
Yeah.
You think you can do it as well? I mean, you've not practiced it, but I reckon you could do this relatively easily.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm going to do it. He's going to do it. We're all going to do it. I'm going to give this 100%. Oh, shut up, Ryland.
What?
You knew I was going to say 100%.
This is the hat. I'm taking the hat off next time.
Christmas magic.
I think I'm going to take the hat off.
Take the hat off and maybe we'll get it wrong. 100% from Ryland. 100% from me. This is a really cool stage trick. We both love it. Let's go on with the final review. Okay, so the final review is a really amazing prop by Lee Alex. Now, you love Lee Alex.
Yeah.
Lee Alex is amazing. We have talked about Lee Alex before. He makes the best devil's hanks you've ever seen. He makes the best quick change you've ever seen. But now, this is cool. This came out very recently. We've had it in our review pile for a while, and we've only just recently looked at it. And oh my gosh, have we been missing out. This is really good. I'm not going to say any more. I just want you to watch a performance of Ryland doing it.
Okay, so here I have a little cloth. Now you can see that it has hearts on. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do something magical. Watch this. Ta-da! Now you can see that all the hearts have completely gone. Okay, the only thing when you do this is it makes a big mess.
Dude, you're 10. Big messes are meant to be your thing. It does make a big mess. But man, what a great routine for stage. Like, can you imagine doing this to music and coming out with the handkerchief and then boom and everything goes everywhere? Doing it at Valentine's Day, doing it at a wedding, doing it at an anniversary. I mean, this is just a killer trick.
You might have to get refills on this.
It's not a close-up trick. You could do it close-up. You could absolutely do it close-up. I mean, they're just little paper hearts. So you could, like, get a little heart cutter and some crepe paper and you could just, you know, make new hearts every single time that you want to do it. It's not a difficult thing to do. Just get some
refills, so I wouldn't have to hurt my arms.
Well, are you gonna do this? Because realistically, this is a stage piece. This is the sort of thing that you would do to music. This is the sort of thing. I mean, you wouldn't have to. It could be done close up. There's not really any angle restrictions really to speak of, but it's not the sort of thing that you'd want to do walk around because you're going to end up with hearts everywhere, and unless you've got little bags of hearts prepared between each table, it's gonna, you know, it's going to be difficult to reset. But if you're a stage performer and you're looking for something super visual, this is great. I mean, it's the sort of thing that you could do really well as an opener. It's the sort of thing that you could do really well to music, or you could even build like a whole routine around it, and you can talk about. You know, hey, I'm trying to think. Hey, you know, you're gonna pick all like you did on BGT. You know, all of these. You know, I've got 100 different words here, and they all different things that you feel when you're watching magic. And you got love, and then you go love. Look, I've got a handkerchief with love on it. But watch this. I mean, so many different ways you can do it. It's super visual. It's also great for social media. You've done it on social media and blown it up. Yeah. And yeah, rightfully so, because it's killer. You did flash a little bit on Instagram though. Naughty.
Oh,
with the handkerchief, you did a slight flash. You did. You did. You flashed.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't realise. Yeah, you did. But I really like this. Okay, we're going to give it a mark. It's available from all good magic dealers.
Oh, it's when I shook it, it didn't go all the way down.
No, it's not that. You just flashed it when you turned it around at the beginning. You did. Go watch the video later. I'm going to give this... Are you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
95!
See? There you go.
It's the Santa hat.
Yeah, it is the Santa hat.
It's got a hole.
Santa
hat's got a hole.
Oh, dear me. It gets 90% from me. It gets 95% from Ryland. You said 95? Yeah, 95% from Ryland, 90% from me. It's really cool. If you're looking, so it'd also do really well in a kids show, I think.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing it in a kids show? I think kids would absolutely love that. Although when those hearts go everywhere, they'll all come running over to you to try and pick them up. You know that.
That's what you do at the end of the show, Daddy.
Yeah. 95% from him, 90% from me. Rye, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. That's another review shot in the bag. That's another falling off. Falling off. That's another review shot in the bag.
You got one more to do.
That's another review shot in the bag.
It is another review show in the bag, guys. Thanks once again for joining us right here on Magic TV. We will see you again next week. If you want to see anything in particular reviewed, let us know in the comments down below. You want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, you can follow Ryland on Instagram. He's on 15,000 followers now. You can also follow him on Facebook, where his engagement is through the roof, or on YouTube. You can also subscribe to this channel on YouTube, or follow me on Instagram if you want to. And don't forget, if you want to sign up to the Netrix, like all the cool kids are, you can go to, what we got today, Ryan?
www.thenetrix.cookies.
www.thenetrix.cookies or .com. Either one will get you there. Well, cookies won't, but com will. Just bear that in mind. I'll see you again next week, right here on Magic TV. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.